Israel launching a ground invasion in the Gaza Strip. This coming after 10 days of airstrikes and rocket attacks between Israel and Hamas. An Israeli spokesman saying that his country had to act after Hamas rejected the Egyptian effort for a ceasefire earlier this week.
The goal of our operation is to protect our people, to end the rocket fire from Gaza on Israeli cities. If that goal can be achieved diplomatically, that'd be good. Up until now, Hamas has closed the door to any diplomatic solution, and that means that we have to strike at terrorist targets in Gaza to protect our people.
Dan Gillerman, he is the former Israeli ambassador to the United Nations and a Fox News contributor. He joins us now with more. Thank you for joining us, first of all. And secondly, the latest information I want to ask you about, and this is coming from the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu just this morning, where he is now saying that Israel is prepared for, quote, significant expansion of this offensive, whereas just yesterday they were calling this offensive limited in scope. Why the stronger words, and how long do you foresee this initiative happening?
Well, Heather, it's good to be with you. And yes, Prime Minister Netanyahu did use very strong words this morning to make it very clear that we mean business and that we went into Gaza after 10 days of tremendous restraint by Israel. No country, certainly not the United States, would wait 10 seconds after being struck by a missile from a neighbor country. We waited not 10 seconds, not 10 hours, but 10 days. But once we went in, we have to make sure that we finish the job. You know, you've been reporting extensively about this horrible air massacre in the Ukraine. This is a very vivid and horrific illustration of what happens when destructive weapons fall into the wrong hands. And just imagine if Hamas one day will have ground-to-air missiles. This was what happened in the Ukraine would be just a preview of a movie soon to be seen in a theater near you and near us. So we are in there to make sure that Hamas is dismantled, that the tunnels he has dug in order to penetrate Israel and kidnap and kill Israelis and smuggle arms, and the missiles which are threatening our children and women are done away with. Until we are sure that we have really dealt Hamas a very heavy blow and diminished its ability to strike our cities and to terrorize our citizens, we will not stop. Otherwise, this will just happen over and over again, and we, as a free and democratic country, cannot stand for it. We do also have... Yes.
I wanted to ask you a little bit more about these tunnels that are being targeted and the proof that you say that you have, and we actually saw footage of it, of these Hamas militants who had entered these tunnels just yesterday, headed towards Israel, trying to get to Israel. You're targeting these tunnels. You also want to dismantle Hamas, but you also, at the same time, your primary goal is to protect your citizens, your women and your children.
Yes, our primary goal is to bring calm and quiet back to Israel. Our major cities, Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, and Haifa, and every village in Israel has been struck by over 1,200 missiles from these war criminals who are using their children as human shields while trying to kill our children. It was Golda Meir, Israel's prime minister, who said long ago that there will not be peace until the Arabs learn to love their children more than they hate us. Now, I hope one day Hamas will learn to do that. But only yesterday, the United Nations, which has never been accused of being overly pro-Israel, has reported that it found 20 rockets hidden in a school in Gaza. The people who put rockets in schools and in mosques and in hospitals are animals. And they're using those tunnels to smuggle rockets, and they're using them in order to penetrate Israeli villages and kidnap and maim Israelis. And therefore, we are in there with our boys at great danger and great risk, but doing it very, very cautiously, but very, very well, going from tunnel to tunnel, trying to block the tunnel, discover more tunnels, make sure we found them all and make sure they are all unoperational, and then trying to dismantle Hamas's ability. And we're doing it not just for us, we're doing it for you, Heather. We're doing it for the Americans and the rest of the world. We are on the front line of the war against terror.
I have
if
to
we
wrap
don't
you up.
Stop them here,
I'm up against a hard wrap.
They'll come to you.
But can you tell me, yes or no, any room left for negotiation?
We've been very willing to negotiate. We've accepted the Egyptian proposal for a ceasefire, which the Hamas refused. We've accepted the request for a humanitarian ceasefire by the UN, which the Hamas broke. If the Hamas agrees to dismantle and to stop firing missiles in Israel, we will be happy to stop our actions and bring peace back to this very troubled neighborhood.
Okay. Thank you very much. We appreciate your insight as always. Thanks.